morning, everyone. We're back for another episode of Custom Card Art Preview from Instagram. All these guys I'm friends with that I've spoken to before. First up is going to be the Perfect Cereal. This gentleman is from Utah. He's been doing this for about a year. He does a bunch of different styles. I would say he doesn't have any one thing that he does. He'll do background pieces, he'll do patch pieces, he'll do mem pieces, he'll just do more drawing and drawing and painting. Here he is, Ken Griffey Jr. with looks to be grass in the background. Next up is going to be a crossover with Patrick Mahomes, and I assume that that's Charizard or something from Pokemon. I'm not a Pokemon guy, so I have no idea what the hell I'm looking at. He also does these like custom slab ones, which some people do. I think it's pretty neat. He'll do his own slip up at the top as if you got it graded by, PSA or otherwise. So I think that's a cool little niche thing that some artists do to kind of like make sure that people know exactly what stuff is theirs. I like those cases. I don't know that I would want to do them for mine, but I do like them. This piece is awesome. The Otani with the swords in the background. So some of these guys are very creative with the pieces that they'll put in there. This video doesn't have anything to do with card art, but I was looking at his Instagram and I was absolutely dying laughing because it's so true. We just put our stuff up there like, oh, we don't care what people think. We actually give a shit what everybody thinks. It matters. So, all right, next up is PMPS Customs. This guy has been doing it for only about 2 months, believe it or not. He's from Central Virginia. He's still coming into his own. He doesn't have any one particular way he does stuff yet. I was a little bit shocked to find out he's only been doing this since February 6th. He definitely not bad for someone who's only been doing it for 2 months. So here he has a nice Luca that he has done, pretty similar to the way most other ones done. He's still working on a lot of his cuts and his ideas and his style of doing stuff. I was talking to him about all this kind of stuff. He got into doing this, ironically enough, pretty much it sounds like the same way that I did. He wanted to find a way to use a lot of his useless, valueless cards or base cards or anything like that. And he doesn't do the shadow box type stuff like I tend to do, which uses more cards, but that's his intentions for doing all this stuff. So I can completely relate to him on that regard. So he definitely has some very nice artistic cards. I think he's got some great ideas. So I think that, in a year's time when he's doing this for as long as, a lot of other people, he'll be very successful if he chooses to be. So here's just some videos of some ones that I was able to steal off of his Instagram. All these pictures and videos were all taken with all these people's permission. I'm not just hijacking their stuff. They got to want to do this stuff. If they don't want to be in stuff like this, I don't. It's not worth putting it out there for the 11 people who are going to watch this, the 4 people who will like it. So we just want people who enjoy this stuff to actually watch it, and we don't want anybody to be put out there who doesn't really feel like being put out there. And there are some people, believe it or not. So next up is Card Mart Canada. This gentleman is from Canada. He lives in Canada. He's actually Russian. I don't know how long that he has lived in Canada. I meant to ask him that. His picture basically looks like he's either going to have to go to the bathroom or he's going to kill your entire family. But he's a hilarious guy. He's been doing card art since April of 2021. He lives in Ontario, Canada. He has some. I really overlooked him. I did not realize how hilarious some of the card themes that he has on his Instagram. Like some of the cards that he has done are not only are they done well, but they're absolutely they're hilarious. They're awesome. I definitely respect his sense of humor. So I told him he has a vodka style, heavy drinking with no mixing. So he laughed at that. But I don't know how long he's been into cards, or if he was into cards, when he was in Russia, or if he's, been in Canada most of his life. At some point, I'd like to interview him and go a little further. I like the fact that, if we have women in the hobby or we have international people in the hobby, it's kind of cool to get their perspective, not just regular good old white bread Americans. So he has as you can see, he cuts beautifully. His artistic talents are very, very good. Definitely far better than mine. So he was also part of a project here, which you'll see in the end. He doesn't have any videos because he didn't make any of them shareable. on Instagram because he sucks. But he was part of a pretty big project called the 2023 Topps Blaster Box Project, which I believe was put on by the Sportscard Art Gallery. And it was I didn't know that they do certain things like this, but it's definitely very unique. This is the piece that he did for that, and it came out fantastically. Some of the other artists that we have, interviewed or we've talked about on these episodes before have been part of that project as well. So I meant to grab like LJ's Customs. I meant to grab his stuff. I'll actually be interviewing him hopefully later on tonight, and then hopefully that video will come out tomorrow, and then I can, if that goes well, wouldn't mind doing a bunch of other artists one-on-one. So next up is First Life Customs. This gentleman is from Germany, and he's actually been doing this for about 2 years. He's more of a card cutter. That's definitely like what I am, but he's much better. He told me, or I saw that he's, he got his inspiration from doing this initially from Kev's Cards, who is absolutely phenomenal. So it looks like he's done previous art stuff as well. And he is a very, very diverse card artist. He does not just do sports. He likes sports cards, but he does a lot. Looking at him through his Instagram, he does a lot of, he'll do comic cards. He does sports cards. He does music cards, all kinds of stuff. And they're all basically the same type style, but they're very, very nice. Very nice. But a lot of these guys, a lot of the international guys, they're definitely more diverse in their sports. Obviously, there's a little bit more of a, as you can see here, a hockey presence. There's more of a soccer presence for sure. They still like a lot of your traditional U.S. sports as well. But some of them have told me that getting cards from like U.S.-based sports can be a bit tricky for them. They can only get international products. They can only get products that are released like in their region, whether it's specifically to a country or to like European based, or I don't think they have German based specific stuff. They may, I have no idea, but I know like they have the Tmall boxes for certain things, which are Asian releases. So they did tell me that it is hard to get some cards. They can still get them, it's just not as readily available for people that live in America. So I kind of overlooked something like that, but I don't know what he's done as far as art in the past. But I saw on his Instagram that he's got previous, or not on his Instagram. He told me that he had done previous stuff with artsy stuff with cutting and pasting on other stuff. So he just transitioned that into card art, and obviously it was a very easy transition for him, and it's been a very successful one. So next up we have What the Shadow Box. This gentleman's not too far from me actually. He's been doing this for about 2 years, and he's in Jersey. I don't know where in New Jersey. I know that I see a lot of his stuff on Instagram from like the Morris County Card Show and some other card shows in New Jersey. So I may have to go down and see some of his stuff in person. So he tends to be a lot more Pokemon specific. Seems to be his big niche thing. With he uses like a resin or an epoxy coupled with all of his stuff, and it's absolutely awesome. A couple of months ago he told me like what he does, how he does it as far as the resin and stuff, and I ordered some. He sent me a picture of what he uses, and I've yet to try it on my stuff, but as things slow down for me, hopefully I'd like to try it, because they just give such an awesome effect to it. I don't know that my stuff's going to look like his, because he's got obviously a system down pat, but truly beautiful stuff. I'm definitely going to have to get a piece from him at some point. So as you can see here, he has a lot more videos than pictures, so I just took some of the videos, which is probably better because it does them more justice. I don't even know what size boxes he's using. I do some stuff in 360 point box cases, and his stuff looks even thicker than that. I don't know if it's just different because it's a Pokemon card versus a sports card. I know there's a little bit of a size difference, nothing crazy, but his looks like the artistic ability there is quite high. So they definitely look awesome when they're done. So as you guys can well see, I would definitely follow him on Instagram. But he also sells on Etsy. If you go on his Instagram, you'll see a link to his Etsy account. So if you're looking to buy any of these stuff, I don't think they're incredibly expensive. Obviously, each piece is different based on, what he's got to spend as far as time to do it, resources, all that kind of stuff. But definitely check him out. And last but not least is TD Cards 3. This gentleman has only been doing it for about 3 months, which was a little bit shocking to me. He is another international artist. That's why the cover to this is the World War III, because we have we have a Russian from Canada, we have a French guy, and this gentleman is from Germany. So, or this gentleman's from France. I'm sorry. Holy crap. First Life was from Germany, but he for only doing it for 3 months, he definitely has some very, very nice cards. Same thing as well. It's like he has good ideas and just kind of goes with them, and I think that seems to be the theme. As I've said in some other of my videos, I think it's not what each individual piece looks like, it's the sum of the parts, you know what I'm saying? So like each individual pieces of that LeBron may not look as great, but once you put them together, it's like, wow, that's a really, really nice card. And that's he definitely pulls that off, even for only having done this for 3 months. So apparently he likes a lot of the Atlanta teams, or all the Atlanta teams, because he visits Atlanta. I guess he has family down there, and he went down there about 20 years ago. So he's a big Hawks, Falcons, and Braves fan, which kind of makes me a little sick to my stomach. But to each their own. I mean, he's French. He's not perfect, but he does mostly drawing and painting. Looks like he does some digital art, and he also does some cutting, but he doesn't tend to do the shadow box type effect. He does definitely more of the, I want to say, picture cards. I have no idea if my terminology is correct. I'm sure people can break my chops if that's incorrect, but here's some of my more recent stuff. So tonight I have a interview with Lee from LJ's Customs, or at least I hope I do. Hopefully it doesn't flake out. So I'll get that done tonight, and then I'll edit it and hopefully have that up for tomorrow. It's the first one I've done, so please bear with me. Hopefully that goes well. And then my goal is to do less of these and more of the one-on-one interviews. There's definitely some bigger artists that I have not even put on these videos that I would love to sit down and pick their brain. You know, as someone that has not been in this that long, certainly by far am not even in the top tier. People that do this, not even close. You know, I'd be very curious to just see, you know, if they have any advice, you know, just where they think this is going, all that kind of stuff. So that's the plans for the short-term future as far as next few videos. So hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow with my first real interview. All right, have a good one.